And you back. You back. You came back. Hey, listen, I'm glad you're here. I'll tell you why. Because last week, we talked about kick drums. Today, we're talking about snare drums. You know, the 2 and the 4. It should be the 2 and the 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. The 2 and the 4, baby. Hey, you want to learn something today? Let's go. Welcome to Midweek Service provided by the Church Sound Podcast. This is our version of tech news with your host, Prentiss Thompson. Have you ever wondered, how do I mic a drum set, or what about getting audio to my live stream? We're here for you. This is tech news, new product reviews, and everything you need to know about what you need to know. Welcome to Midweek Service.
You're gonna learn today.
Welcome to another edition of the Church Sound Podcast, Midweek Service. I'm your humble host, Mr. Prentiss Thompson. What we do every week, we do product training, product reviews, applications, everything you need to know about what you need to know to continue to make your church service amazing. So, hopefully last week, you got something from the kick drum, and hopefully you tried out one of the techniques that I shared. But today we're going to talk about snare drums, and obviously there's so many different sizes of snare drums. My son is a drummer, so he has a collection of snare drums for the different styles of music: a wide, a piccolo, all different sizes of snare drums for the different styles of music. So in most of our churches, it's normally, if you had to put a title on it, it'd be gospel or alternative. With CCM, kind of like what I call alternative rock. Sounds like your Hillsong and things of that nature. Then you have your Kirk Franklins and your Tasha Cobbs, and that's like a lot more aggressive. But John P. Key, with the whacking of the snare is very important to the style of the song. So your snare drum is important if that's what you need. Now, there's been many, many times when I have not applied a mic to the snare drum based on the size of the space, the size of the room that I'm in, and available channels. So if you have limited channels, and say you have just 3 inputs for your drums, you can go kick, snare, overhead. It's been times when I've done kick drum and overhead, or kick drum and 2 overheads. I've done it that way. So why? And the main reason why is because even when you have an overhead and you have a snare drum, you're still picking up the same signal, but you're picking it up at a greater velocity, meaning a closeness to the actual drum. It's been so many times I've gotten a better sound from the overhead mic than the snare drum that I would actually duck the snare drum mic because the sound was so much better. The other thing about micing your snare drum is that the closeness of it, based on the placement and based on the style of music, will give you the bigger pop. If you want a deeper sound, obviously you got to use the snare drum on the actual microphone, on the actual drum head. But another thing you can do based on the style of the music is have a microphone underneath the snare. Now, I found that if you want that rattly sound that the snare gives you, because that's those the rakes underneath the snare, that gives the snare that actual sound. And sometimes people will have a mic under, they will do an over and under. I don't particularly like the over and under unless I'm doing a kit sound where it's like jazzy, where I need to have that rattly thing. It really makes more sense to have it more present. Or if someone is doing jazz and they're doing a lot of brush work, and it makes more sense to have that. But if that's not the case, try it. You know, as engineers, we try to develop our own style and our own way of doing things by taking things from the past and bringing them into the present and trying different applications for your greater good of your overall sound. With me, I know that the drums are very, very important when I'm mixing, and I need to make sure that they're present. I'd rather have too much and not enough, you know, because it's better to turn it down than have to turn it up. That's the worst thing in the world. You gotta turn the thing up. It's horrible. But if you are looking for different ways to mic a snare drum directly on off axis, try different positioning. Try different types of microphones. They have to be a dynamic microphone, obviously, because you talk about miking a percussive instrument. But try different type of miking techniques. Try to over and under. It may work for you. It may not work for you. You know, maybe try to get more from your overheads. That may work for you. It may not work for you. You never know. But you never know till you reach the sound of the way that you like to do things, to be able to apply that to your tool bag, if you will. So try it out. Get a snare drum, mic it in the sanctuary by yourself. Just try it. And you never know what you come up with unless you try some stuff. So there you have it. Hey, listen, make sure you look at the show notes. There's a couple of things in there. Some information there. Sign up for the newsletter. And we have some couple of things that's coming down your pike. We're going to be doing some affiliate marketing very soon, and lighting kits for your church. So should be some information there, and we have specific lighting scenarios that we can definitely offer to you guys. So there you have it. And I'm going to say it like I always say. What do I say? Can you say it with me? And by the way, before I get out of here, those of you who are listening, you can now view this on our YouTube channel. It's a link there. Follow it. Do what you got to do. Anyway, say it like I always say it. What do I say? I will see you in the Matrix.